Hey guys, Scott for Scary Adventures, and today I am joined with Stevie for Scare Scotland. And where are we today, Stevie?
We're in St Machan's graveyard in Clachan of Campsie in Dumbartonshire.
There you go. And we're going to have a wee look about, so enjoy. So what I'm going to do is we'll take a walk about the graveyard and look at gravestones, and we'll get the necrophonic cap going. And I do apologise for any background noise because the main path to take you up into the mountains is basically there, and that's the beginning. So enjoy. So Stevie's going to tell us about this.
So this is St Machan's graveyard. This land was owned by a family called the Lennox family, and it was their estate, and the family basically don't exist anymore, and well, they don't own the estate anymore. But over here, if you look over here, this is their family mausoleum, and it's an A-listed building, and as you can see it's sealed up, but it's got quite a history. Obviously it was built to hold the Lennox family, and we'll probably get another view of it in a minute, but we'll go and we'll see a staircase on the side of it, and the Lennox family used to meet on a Sunday and have tea in the upper floor.
How about that for history? And we've got the Scottish mountains in the background. Absolute beautiful place.
You can see here the remains of the St Machan's church. There's been probably a church here since the 1400s, and this was the remains of the last ever one that was built.
Absolutely awesome.
Do you want me to say about the pirates' graveyard?
Yes, you can do tell. So Stevie's going to tell us a story about the pirates' graveyard.
Well, when we used to come camping here when I was young, and we used to call this graveyard the pirates' graveyard because some of the old graves have got the skull and crossbones on it, and we didn't know what it meant. So we would come in here at night when we were camping, sort of up there a little bit, and we'd come and creep about in it at night and freak each other out and stuff. But we'd all go around looking to see if we could find any pirates' graveyards, and there's quite a few of them in here with the skull and crossbones on it, which I now know means Memento Mori. Yeah, but it's quite an interesting little place, and not a lot of people know about this place. But they tend to sort of start here at Clachan of Campsie when they want to go walking up the hills and whatever. But it's right at the back of the village, so they tend to sort of bypass it and don't know it's here.
So why is the graves got skulls on them?
Well, it's markings from back in the day when people couldn't read or write. They weren't very well educated, so what they would do was they would put markings on the graves, and it would usually cover, it would be Latin, like the skull and crossbones means Memento Mori, means a reminder of death, and you would find different things like hourglasses and stuff like that, and that means hourglasses means basically again a reminder of death, and it can mean two different things. If the hourglass is sort of looking normally, it means they died when they were maybe older, but if it's on its side, it usually means they died before their time, or they might have died young. But the grave can also have what their job was, and rather than say what their job was, there'll be a symbol of what their job was. Like, for example, you might find a plough on it, or a hammer, or if they were a weaver, you'll find a tool that they used, and you just need to identify all that. And it basically tells the story of the person in words, in pictures rather than words. But it's and some of them can be absolutely fantastic.
Excellent.
You can see here the actual mausoleum was built in 1715, but it was closed up in 1884. As you can see, with it closed in 1884, that's when the last Lennox family member was put in here. There was wooden doors here, and obviously over the years they've rotted, but to seal it up properly, they've actually put the Lennox coat of arms on, and some of the dates of when the family members were around and how long they've been here. So basically celebrating the Lennox family. Got the coat of arms and various different ones. There's some Latin stuff around here, anno 1604, anno 1606, and you know, here lies the names of the family members that are in here.
And a wall.
That was done by sort of local. That was sort of done by local.
Where a grave thing.
And there's the coat of arms there, which you can see has been quite badly damaged over the years. Not vandalised, I must say, it was just weather beaten.
I will add pictures in of the gravestones as we go along.
Staircase.
Hold on.
It's locked, but they used to open it and let you in and have a look during doors open day. But obviously due to COVID you can't do that anymore. So
Let's see if I can turn this round so you can see. And that is the staircase to take you up to the upper level where the family would have tea with the dead. Interesting. But getting back to the early days, that's basically what you did. You came to the graveyard and you celebrated with your family the past, the death. Yeah.
probably noticed that a lot of these old graveyards.
And it'd be birthday.
Feel like a tree. Or maybe say something about the tables and what they were for.
So what we'll do is we'll take pictures once we film. We'll film that.
There. See that bit over there? That's the really old bit.
So what we'll do is I'll add the photos into video, what I usually do, but what I'll do is I'll do continuous filming first, and then I'll go about and take photos of the graves. So with these graves here, this is where the family came, and they would put a kitchen towel down, and they'll set up the tea and have cakes on a Sunday with the family. And it's a tradition that's actually it's gone. It's no longer.
Died out.
Aye, it died out, literally.
These were the sort of lesser Lennox family members.
Ones that never made it in.
Aye, they were sort of B-list, if you know what I'm saying. But they were still entitled to have the coat of arms.
That's crazy.
That
Is that 1700?
1700, yeah. And look at the markings on that one, that's incredible. See this, that looks legit, that's the mark of a weaver. That's the tool of a weaver. I can't actually make the date out, but it's so worn out. See that? That's the tool of a weaver.
That's just the flag, isn't it? Is that not the... That there, the cross coming down this here, is that not representing the flag on the coat arms? It's how you usually get a flag coming down, you usually get the...
It's not something you see in old graves. You can see this is starting to get worn out now.
I know they should be better protected, I don't understand it, but again, that's humans for you. They just...
That's probably a better example of a table where the families would sit.
Yeah. That one in the middle. And they'd basically come, put a dish towel down, I didn't even call it, what would you call it? A table throw?
You put a wee tablecloth blanket over it.
And then just sit there and...
They would sit here and talk memories of their family and whatever, and have tea and cakes.
The place is beautiful.
You know, there's all this thing about you know, when you go into a graveyard, be respectful and all that, and that's understandable, but you know, don't walk in a grave and You know, but you were encouraged to actually sit on this, which is the point of a table to eat at. You know?
Absolutely crazy. Look at that one, that's interesting. One of that. What does that say? GM McB OMF.
Probably something on the other side, isn't it? No, it's nothing.
That one.
Nothing.
Ah, that one's got something on it.
Look at this, these two here, 1746.
DS. Why did they just clean it?
It's 1746. That one's probably even older. Yeah, that's hand carved.
BW, I know.
Look at that, that's hand carved.
It's if one of the family members did it themselves.
It's probably farmers and stuff. Right? Look at it, look at that. It's, you know, you see a graveyard now and it's the wording's all perfectly straight. You can see that's been hand carved because it's bent.
Aye,
You
just
know?
need to look at the bee.
Aye, look at the bee, you know, that's obviously somebody spent time, having to spend time doing that, you know. That's probably quite a few hours work there. You know, when now you just done in minutes, you know.
Crazy. 1828. That one's nice. By Mary White.
Sometimes what you find as well in these old graves, you see a certain style on the graves, and it's usually, obviously it's the same person who's made them. So you see because sometimes you see the Memento Mori stuff and the skulls all look different, because each sort of sculptor or whatever all had a different style.
Aye.
And so sometimes they all look the same, you know, it's the same guy or same person, you know.
So look at that one. He's 25, he died age 25, and then a 5-month-old Wayne, a 10-month-old Wayne, and a 10-week-old Wayne. Probably died of childbirth.
Yeah, it's fairly common then.
10 weeks one probably done it in.
Sometimes you come to old graveyards and you see one graveyard with lots of kids on it and they've all died in infancy, because childbirth death was seen as part of life then. It was just one of those things, sad as it is. You know, you'd have easily 6 kids in one grave. You know?
Aye. And plus they were giving them morphine and things like that. No morphine, heroin. That's what drives me crazy, is what they gave. And the same with the bread. We talked about how they wanted to be richer. They wanted the white bread instead of the wholemeal bread. And the white bread was made with plaster. And it was causing constipation in the children, and then just basically rupture, death. A horrible death.
Midges are galore up this end.
It's not that time of season yet. That's just hanging on your dear life.
Yeah, but rant about
I
midges.
can do a rant.
Now, some of you may be watching this all over the world and live in places like Australia and Africa and all that, where there's lethal animals like lions and snakes.
Lions and tigers and bears and
Well, we have the most lethal animal of all in Scotland. We have the midgie.
Deadliest
Midges
creature.
are, can I swear?
Yes, you can swear.
Midges are bastards. They will eat you alive. Wee tiny things like that, and there's billions of them. And if you walk through there and you look carefully, you'll see them all flying about, and they'll suck the blood out of you.
Thousands of them, but it's no the season yet. We're only starting our season.
They are evil, and they will suck you dry of every drop of blood that you have. and there's nothing you can do about them.
It really hurts when you're getting bit with 10 billion at one time.
They get in your neck, they fly up your trousers, horrible. And we fact fans, it's only the females that bite.
Aye, it is only the females, but it's really slower when there's thousands of them biting you all at one time. So there's different seasons, and we're coming into the season, and then later on come August is the worst. You've actually got to wear nets. You actually have to wear a net if you're up higher up in Scotland, because they will. Oh, it's just incredible. But these are all these little things here, and just now it's just all the males that are flying about now. But come August, millions, and you're talking about millions will bite you at one time.
So if you ever come to holiday in Scotland, just be warned. They will eat you alive.
And I seen a thing, there's a guy in England who takes see the wee, what do you call them, the wee incense things?
Aye.
And he puts them in a tin. He puts a nail through, and he puts like 3 of them in a tin, and he pierces holes in them and lights them, and he carries them about, and it soaks all the insects again near him.
They don't like smoke.
So, aye, but come August is just crazy, and it's only higher up in Scotland. So
there's noted cases of people leaving Scotland because of them.
Because it does really hurt.
Billions of them.
Aye, billions of them biting you at one time.
Look at these ones here.
Got to wear big nets.
You know, it is pretty old as it is, but you can see with the gravestones how old this part actually is, you know. And you probably see a lot of these just had initials on them. And the reason for that is again, it comes back to the symbolism. People still couldn't read or write very well, so there was no point in putting their whole name on. So they just put their initials on.
Because the only people who really wrote was the monks.
Yeah, the monks and the well off. They're the ones that could only afford an education.
Us normal people weren't allowed it. It was frowned upon. But then again, you get put. They'd send you away to Australia if you stole an apple. They would hang you if you stole a loaf of bread. Going back to barbaric times, and definitely here in Scotland we're barbaric. That's incredible. So obviously we're inside the ruin of the church. Oh, sorry, no, it's alright. What's in it?
Okay. No, that's something to talk about.
So it's a big cave. Ooh. And something jumping out there and biting you. You put my light on. Let's see if I can get my... Hold on. Right, so obviously these are the ruins of the old church and the churchyard. And what I just showed you inside is 2 graves. It's absolutely fantastic. So I am going to drone. Heard it earlier. See? We're getting spooked out by a drone flying up in the hills. I'd love to take my drone, but I was practicing it and it flipped and smashed to smithereens, broke the camera and everything. So, absolute, spent a fortune on it. Never even got it off the ground. There's some dumping beer cans. So obviously that's inside a cave. Why would they dump cans inside it? God. And there's somebody that died very, very young. Never even lived half a life. There's one of the urns.
What?
One of the urns that's no covered at all. God, so far. And people are unreal. Look at that. 1779. TM. What? Here I come. Car. 1765. GB, so it's obviously man and woman maybe. So fantastic. How beautiful is this? The Latin on the foot of the images.
This is last resting place of a guy called John McFarlane, as you can see. John was a local lawyer, but as most folk know, if you've ever met a poor lawyer, you haven't. But this guy was different. He basically represented the people of the area and never took any money for it. All he ever asked was basically worship God, as it says in his sort of thing, but he actually died in poverty, and everybody sort of chipped in and gave him this, because he was quite well esteemed in the area.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. He actually gave his, as they say, knowledge is power. And look at this place. Look at that view. What a view. So, a moment ago I had a camera issues, so I'm just hoping that my footage actually saved.
Always seemed to be doing this part, or we always felt things.
Somebody suggests. So obviously, at this part, I'm going to get the microphone back on. And what I'm going to do is we'll get this going. Okay.
Now
as Stevie says, this part of the graveyard always scared them. So we'll get the necrophonic app going and we'll see if we get any voices. If you hear anything, make sure you comment when it happened, so at the time, and what you heard, and make sure you like and subscribe and share. And I hope you enjoy this video, because I'm getting eaten alive. So if there's anybody here who'd like to make yourself present, I will say that, present, come forth to me. Tell me your name, tell me your story, tell me who you are. Are you a male? Are you a female? See that man? Stevie? Yeah? IE love MW. We love that. And
that's nice.
an electric. A lightning bolt. That's 1792. That is. If there's anybody want to come through. Hi, I heard you. Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me where you are? Water, I heard water. The water's behind that wall.
This is why we called it the Pirates Graveyard.
Okay, that's incredible. 1789.
So, do you want me can you just please translate it?
Yeah, aye. So we'll stop the necrophonic app, hold on. And hold on.
There's another one here.
So Stevie is going to tell us about these graves.
It's sort of a bit of a, I'm not a brilliantly expert at this, but
Aye, he is.
There's two graves here we said earlier on about the markings. Even though there's still some wording on this, we'll translate it for you. Well, basically, this is an angel, and this would be an effigy of the person who's buried here, and that would be them ascending to heaven. You can see a skull and crossbones, and you see it in various different styles. Sometimes it's under it, sometimes it's over it, sometimes whatever. But it basically means Memento Mori, which is Latin for remember death. And the two people you can see here, and it's like they're rising out of the grave. That's biblical from the resurrection.
They shall
Basically,
rise.
God, Jesus coming back and resurrecting the dead. There's another one here, you can see. It's very similar. You've got the angel here, and you've got the bodies, the resurrection, and this is the book of life, as mentioned in the Bible. I don't want to get all holy and religious with you, but that represents the book of life, and this represents the resurrection. And sometimes you can notice the angel's head can be looking down, and that means they're sad. Sometimes you may be going out here, you'll see tears and stuff on them.
There's a ball underneath it.
That's actually another body. That's just another, there's actually a bit of the body there, and it's just the same here. Sometimes it can But you can see, if you look carefully, you can see that they're actually helping him up.
Mm-hmm.
You see the hands coming here, and they're actually helping him.
Do you notice that? Look, on it says...
In there you can see the hands, and they're actually leading down to this person here,
The
and
child.
they're lifting him out.
That says GG. That one says GG.
Probably the same family.
And it says AM, AMF,
It'll be the same family.
AMF, so the exact same name.
Probably will be the same family. They tend to buy sort of areas, you know.
So it definitely is GG or
that's the
CC.
same,
But the two of them are actually identical, apart from the book. But
it's probably the same person that carved them. They look very similar in style, so.
That's
But yeah, this
crazy.
is why when we were kids we called this the Pirate Graves graveyard. Because we had no clue what it meant. Now we know.
Now we know, and we love it. And we love it. Obviously you can see a lot there. Absolutely incredible. I love spooky trees and graveyards. Absolutely love them.
When I was a lad, this used to be so overgrown. This used to be totally covered in bushes. You couldn't even get in there.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh, watch yourself.
That's sinky. We want to see what that was in the back yet.
Oh, it's falling off the wall. There's a plaque falling off the wall.
Oh, the ground is just wow. Stunning on that.
Oh yeah, right. Lightning above
I don't know if that's half it then. Half
well,
that.
some people come to graveyards and they
You can
find
see
these
it,
little-
well you can see there's
there's
something
one
in the
over there,
middle.
but you see it quite a lot. Some people find them lying around and they try and sort of put it together like a big jigsaw puzzle, and they leave them on top of these ones. There's one over there that somebody's had a go at over the other side next to the Mausoleum.
Incredible. I just felt I was just going to sink right through. So as it says, I will add pictures in with the video, but I'm going to film first and I'll take pictures. Makes it easier for editing. That's crazy. So, wait, Stevie. I don't know if that is some of those stones in front of that. I don't know what they mean. These shells, what are they?
What's that?
The shells.
The shells are
It's shells,
just
is it star? It's the sun?
what's that?
Is it the sun or a shells?
They're probably shells, but shells you find quite a lot lying about in graveyards. See if you go to, there's a graveyard, it seems to be a sort of West of Scotland thing. There's a graveyard out in, they call it the M8 Church, Kirkishot's Church. If you go into that graveyard, there's actually is shells on top of the big shells are actually on top of a lot of the stones. It's a fairly common thing. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Incredible. Absolutely love it. So, get that app going again. Grey feather. Look at that orange mould. Orange mould on that. Guess that would pure light up with UV light. It's just a new one, it's day 3.
Well, that'll be the copper coming out the stonework.
Yeah.
There's actually a graveyard in Stonehouse you can go to, and it's got a hole in it with a skull on the side of it, and there's an old myth that see if you stick your finger in the hole and it comes out red. I'll take you to it if you want. And you put something. It's older than this, that graveyard. You put your finger in the mouth of the skull, and you take it out. And if your finger goes all red, it means you're cursed. It does actually happen. It's the copper in the graveyard and the stone that makes your finger all red.
Well, there's a place when I was a child in Cabarton, and it was the 7 white horses.
Alright.
And it was a pipe in the ground, and basically you blow down it and you look down, you'll see there was a mine collapse, and you'll see the 7 white horses running back. But if water shoots up and hits you in the eye, it's the devil spitting in your face.
Stories like that are great, isn't it?
And it's a water thing, it's just a water thing. Blows in, it blows up.
Just the pressure
But
after a while.
being a child and getting told that is
I know. Well, that's just suddenly we thought
brilliant.
we thought this place was full of pirates.
it's incredible. Aye, 7 white horses.
That's amazing.
Let's try to get as much. So if you hear anything, make sure you comment. And if there's anybody here, come forth. Come and speak to me. Tell me the message. Look at that. Solid iron.
That gravestone there is very, very rare.
Come on.
And the reason why it's rare is because it's made of metal. No,
Cast iron.
made of iron. They're very seldom in this condition because they rusted and broke, and then the panel would fall out. So finding one like this is actually quite a rarity, because they needed to be protected from the elements, because the metal was very brittle, and yeah, they're quite rare finding them. Not many of them around. You see loads of them, but a lot of them are just hollow. Very few of them have actually got the tablet left.
Especially when it says Scott on it. Notice that a lot. See, the past 2 weeks, I've
your
heard
name.
my name every single day.
I found a Stephen Douglas once. I was a bit spooked.
It's basically all the stuff right here. It's just my name. It just seems to get. And I'm like, and it's happening every single day.
Don't forget you get the other side of this.
No. Rebuilt in was that 18?
Aye.
MIL. ML. Obviously. Cautious because it's. Oh, Stevie.
That was sore.
Oh my god. It just whacked his nut.
Again, you were never able to get into this when I was a kid. It was so. Let's see the markings here.
I can't believe you did that. Should have put my gloves on.
Letters in here, right?
Big chunk of that.
That's Latin.
It's a sword.
It's a sword.
It's
It's
a sword. It's a sword. I don't know who it is. That looks as in. That's in Latin.
it what, Latin?
Aye, it's Latin. It definitely is Latin. Definitely is Latin. Probably. Why not? This place is incredible. Obviously I could add soft music, but I don't do that. Oh God. It's that tick. God. It's that tick.
The one here, it's sort of really old, and this one really got its fix out. It's quite sort of modern. I don't know, I actually think it was modern with a
Category. See the way that's filled in and actually smashed that one? Jesus.
You have the nature of the later.
There's a big bit of granite.
And it would have been changed.
1850.
It would have been changed.
I really can't make it out. Haston of Haston, who died in August 1840, aged 71, and Helen Duncan, his spouse, who died unknown. Well, it says something there, but I don't know what it says. Died April 1850, aged 53. So he probably did the best for his missus. So help. So if there's anybody here, so if there's anybody here who'd like to make yourself known and to make yourself present, come forth to me. I am your vessel of God.
You're pushing your luck.
Hey. Oh Jesus, nearly choked there. God smiting me down. If there's anybody here, come forth. Who is in this grave? See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just an extra 2 feet, and that would be the coffin. Oh, what? Oh, no way, look at that.
Campbell. Is he Campbell? Campbell and Miller.
No, hold on, let's stop this.
And
Miller died in 1737. I don't know, is it a minute? Oh, that's what a beautiful shot. Hidden within this. It's actually a headstone. And it's there. In God we love John. James Millison, the daughter of James Millison, Anne Miller, 1770. Aye, an anchor. A captain. Right. So obviously, for us to stop there to take pictures. Right. So, if there's anybody here, I know I've already said that, but if there's anybody here, tell me your name. Where are you? Speak to me. The technology I have in my hand, you can communicate with me. And the technology I have in this hand I'm holding in the air, you can show yourself. Look up. Huh?
HSBC is somebody on my bank account gave me 250 quid.
That was good. I hope I got that. That was a full conversation there. In one go. An old man talking. What? I don't know, you can hear it back. Oh man, obviously I'm not old enough to understand. What?
That's going to be the Lennox family here.
Lennox?
Lennox. Is it any of the Lennox family here?
Is there any of the Lennox family here? Would you like to come through? Come to me. Any of the Lennox family? That voice again.
Same one?
He's saying me in my mud.
It's still a wee graveyard, isn't it?
That is. If you'd like to come through and speak to me. The technology I have in my hands helps you communicate with me. I communicate with my mind. Speak to me. My arm's gone dead. Bridge. Right. I'm going to close this session off, and I would like to thank Stevie. Come forth. Thanks Stevie for bringing me here today, and I hope you enjoyed it. So make sure you like and comment if you hear anything or see anything, and I'll add pictures into the video and hopefully catch something in this spectacular graveyard. It's absolutely incredible. Hear that there? Stevie? I said in this spectacular graveyard and it went, oh. Is that right?
Well, if you want to rest somewhere, probably the place you want to be, innit?
Aye, it's a good place to go. But again, thank you for joining us, and till the next one, Scary Adventures signing out.